Looks like I'm in luck. Didn't expect to see so heavily armed an adventurer wandering into our camp. Are you interested in a job? I've got a fey beast situation I need taken care of. Excellent. A pack of wild fey have holed up at the canyon hill site at the top of the ledge. I've already dispatched a scholar to investigate, but he hasn't returned. You'll find him near the road towards the mine. I'll have more information for you there. But it isn't useful for much else. The coward refuses to go near the fey. Get to the site and figure out why those blasted things have come out of the mine. And then get rid of them. Speak to the scholar when the deed is done. He'll pay you. Oh, where are my manners? Foreman Vire at your service. This here is Motus Mining's latest outfit. And my care and charge. They were our biggest competition. And they discovered this site, actually. When we caught wind of it, we made sure to get up here with a bag of gold for each of his workers. So they promised to work for us instead, of course. Work like a charm. Poor Edgar had never found a way to recover from that. There's no one else to run his mine. He probably couldn't find the money to pay them even if he found new staff. If I sound proud of us, it's 'cause I am. It was a big victory for Motus. I've seen some strange things. Flickers and flashes from the top of that mountain. No idea what causes it, and I don't want none. We've got our hands full down here as it is. He's a weak-eyed, knock-kneed, biscuit-biting excuse for a scholar. But he's the one I've got, so that's that. A forsaken, wretched wasteland with more beasts than grains of sand. Still, by the domes of Adessa, I'll not see this venture fail. If it weren't for the beast lurking at our doorstep every day, I'd find this place quaint. As it is, I can barely retain my sanity. Capstan Odvar runs an inn and serves as our chief of security. I've received reports of strange happenings in those caverns. One of the workers claimed he saw horrifically scarred men wandering near Saltwell Mouth. Our scholar, Ainser, ought to be at the canyon hillside, getting to the bottom of this damn hold-up. He ought to be back already, telling me how he fixed it. If you do see him, give him a kick for me and tell him to get on with it. I've got miners just standing around not mining. Good day.
In ancient times, the desert had no shade. The sun burned the land to ruin. The rivers disappeared, and the animals hid underground. The people cried to Helios for mercy, but he didn't answer their prayers. As the plants withered in the heat, the hollow lands echoed with the crackle of fires.
On the third year of passage, Tyrion entered Dalantarth. In dark wood and fany field she strode, until from wandering she was taken to the roots of mighty Velagru's child. So laden with Lyria's song, a greater magic known to none, she communed with nature's spirit, but the lyric she sought was not found. So to the plains of Erethel travelled the Lyria-guided Tyrion. Wind chased her swarthy cloak and tresses, masked her against the moonlit plains. That ebon evening tide, that coloured shade that so long ago marked us, Tyrion marched against the celestial expanse. Beneath the diamonded sky, she found her rest.
prevent any trouble.
May I help you? Be careful out there.
Greetings.
Hold right there, newcomer. I welcome you to Adessa, but before you enter, I must catalogue your visit. Please answer the questions as truthfully as possible. It's imperative that our tallies be accurate. Now, what brings you to Adessa? Yes, well, at least you look more put together than some of the people that came here before you. Poor sods. With any luck, your errands go without incident. Now, where have you come to Adessa from? Alistar? You mean you've come from Fomerus Hugh's laboratory? Yes, I see it now. They were wrong about your nose, but you match the description of the one I was to look out for. We can dispense with the remainder of my questions. You are free to enter Adessa. You will be lodged in the Sandstone Villa, temporarily. Excuse my rudeness. I am Senar Bruges, Tallier second class to the Domus Politica. My purpose is to sort those that come to Adessa, to welcome them to the city while maintaining the delicate balance we gnomes have achieved. They help sort the newly arrived in the city. We want to ensure that everyone is placed where they properly belong. This is rare, newcomer. Very rare. If I can speak frankly, I'm not sure this is the blessing you take it to be. True, you have been saved from the squalid lodgings of the Hospitalis quarters. But Sandstone Villa is reserved for, well, it is not my place to speak of it. This key will provide you with access to the villa. You would do well to be very aware of your surroundings, stranger. Now, good day. Yes, you are now officially recorded as having entered Adessa, center of all gnomish society in the Feylands. The Domus Politica has me tallying and sorting all new arrivals to the city. Another few years and I could be Tallier, first class. I'm sure you'll learn about the city the more time you spend in it. It is vast, but well designed. The Domus is where all of Adessa's political work is done. The Templars determine the policy, and it is there that we enact it. And not everyone is given a villa just for arriving here. But I'd be careful. A gifted necklace can easily be a golden chain. Yes, yes, go on. Yes?
Need something?
Oh dear, things seem to have gotten worse than I thought. Ah, stranger, I think I have, require the assistance of, well, your kind. It's quite urgent and quite, sensitive. Many of us come far from our homeland for the opportunity of success. A new city opens up societal ranks. I've been a scrivener in the Domus for over 10 years. I'm often called upon to compose official correspondence and letters of a diplomatic nature. The Domus Politica handles all of the documentation that's needed to support the Templar diplomacy. The gnomes do not acknowledge war as an acceptable circumstance. We cannot condone either side until a peace is reached. The benefits either side may gain from such conflict are short-term when compared to the decades of rebuilding and fortifying that such a war will necessitate. The Templars exemplify what's great about our people. Wisdom, ingenuity, bravery, and justice. Gnomish society is led by few, who rely on the efforts of many. Here in the walls, we work, so that they are free to lead us more effectively. There's a letter, one I was writing. I'm a scribe, you see. I received word from the Basilica to draft it, from Scholar Ehrencourt. A strange letter, meant for Rathir. And though we gnomes are neutral, well, The letter gave encouragement, not promises. Never give promises, that's the rule. The letter was written, sealed and sent, but never arrived. Scholar Ehrencourt means to have my head for losing it. I need that letter recovered. I have one need for you. The courier that took that letter from me. It was a traveller. A Dockerfar named Parwin Well from Suncamp. She said Ehrencourt arranged the delivery. He had no reason to suspect. Travellers are often used as couriers in these lands. But she was the last to have that letter. It was sent to Rathir via courier. A traveller by the name of Parwin Well. She was the last to see the letter. She must have some idea of what happened. Fair enough.
What? Yes? What do you want? I am not in the habit of making conversation with strangers, especially one of your stature. Please be quick. The shining jewel of knowledge. An oasis of reason and order, carved by the gnomes into the dusty wilds of Datir. Unlike the lofty idealism of the Alpha and the messy pragmatism of the humans, we gnomes proudly embrace the virtues of reason and order. As such, we must maintain neutrality in these periodic wars that spring up. We cannot risk tainting our knowledge by taking sides. You understand? It is an estate that I have ordered to be kept empty for when I have need of it, such as now. From their council in the Forum, the Templars guide the advancement of our society. Our tremendous successes are due to their unswerving pursuit of knowledge. Each Templar is allowed a wide degree of freedom in the projects they sponsor, but they are ultimately accountable to the rest of the Forum. I see. Think very, very carefully about what you are saying. Octien is a Templar. He is in a position of the highest authority. And who, may I ask, are you? For you to accuse Octien without having a direct confession is not only meaningless, but contrary to all our procedures. Even if this were true, or even already suspected, it would have to be corroborated by Octien himself. That requires a confession. As he is not here to present the charges himself, I must assume that no such confession exists. Now, I have done all I can for you. Please, trouble me no further with this matter, especially with such insufficient evidence. We have already discussed this. Nothing short of a confession would convict him. As such, Templar Octien will remain undisturbed in the Livrarium.
Hello. I'm here to send regrets on behalf of Templar Joriel. While she wishes to extend you aid, she's stymied by protocol. What she gave you was an official response. I'm here to give you another response. A personal one. I am a political aide for Templar Joriel. I operate in a number of capacities for the Templars' official and unofficial business. My superior has suspected for some time the crimes that you've levied against Templar Octien. But like you, she is frustrated by his status. Allow me to be direct. If you can make Templar Octien publicly acknowledge his crimes, then Templar Joriel will reward you. She will be your patron of sorts. The city is a marvelous place. Recently, my work has taken me farther from its walls for more often, and I'm sadder for it. I am an aide to Templar Joriel. Usually, my work takes the form of drafting letters, taking notes of various functions, and so on. My superior is a very, very busy person. It is unfortunate that some wrongs escape her notice, and those she does notice cannot always be immediately righted. You wish to bring the Templar to justice, yes? Then you must get him to publicly acknowledge his crimes in some form. As my superior no doubt told you, the Templar may be found in the livrarium. I suggest you go there. What?
Well, look at you. Don't seem to be quite as busy as the other humans working the scaffolding. You might be perfect. Listen, stranger, would you like to earn a bit of coin? No sweat off your brow, promise. Every now and then, the scholars take an assistant from the laboratories in the walls to the Basilica. Right now, that's me. The Basilica is where the scholars of Adessa reside. Not many assistants there besides me, but I manage. The scholars are the most educated gnomes. You could say they are the thinkers of our society. Lost? The Basilica Nostra is home to Adessa's scholars. The Forum is the center of Adessa, and behind that is a livrarium, Adessa's library. The consistorium is, well, under construction. Even in its unfinished state, the Forum is a perfection of architecture, a fitting place for the seat of our government. The livrarium is our storehouse of knowledge. The works of many scholars, sages, historians, and mages can be found within. I don't know all the details about it. I assist many scholars with their works here. I know that Scar Naren was involved in linguistics. It's safe to say the experiment will likely be some verbal study. Scar Naren has quarters in the Basilica Nostra. Speak with her and she'll get you started. You need to speak with Scar Naren in the Basilica Nostra. She'll tell you what to do. Yes?
What?
You're alive. What an unexpected and quite unfortunate turn of events. For starters, he expected you to be rotting in a sandy ditch somewhere. Supper for the carrion birds. Understand, you and I are alike. All we both want is to see this business reach its end. Ha! The White Palm are hardly thugs. Simply finding them cost me a small fortune, when I expect to be reimbursed with this failure. You are a child. These crimes, as you call them, shall be my final triumph. Innocent blood has been the price for this research. But the Well of Souls is priceless. It is worth every sacrifice. I do have one confession, though it's not the one you seek. If a fight is what you desire, you will find me quite hard to kill. Unfortunately, I cannot say the same for you. The wise and the foolish both die. Is that justice? With the Well of Souls, I can change that. I can choose who deserves life. To think that yous gave away such a gift to you. Well, we've seen how you wasted your life. Perhaps I'll give Intrinio your corpse to examine. After all, you met your first death as his assistant. It would be a reunion. Of course. And it's such a pity you'll never find out.